So as we kind of wrap up, who knows how long this episode's going to be when it goes live? I don't know. This is the thing. That's why I always schedule 90 minutes because like try to keep us to 45 minutes. Good luck with
Just try.
that. Just try. So, wrapping it back around to the summit, you've been running
Mhm.
it now for 4 years and you kind of touched on the accessibility and
Yeah,
so
and then I
how
got
has that
distracted
had
with a tangent.
absolutely. So how does the accessibility look now? How's it evolved?
Yeah. So, it's definitely a lot more accessible for me because I have implemented a lot of automations, and a lot of things are pre-created and everything.
Yeah.
Um,
I see you
I
use an
have put a lot of
Airtable.
yeah, a lot. I am married to Airtable. I have
Yes, I was
polyamorous relationship with my
like,
partner
this
and
is so
Airtable.
sexy. Look at her Airtable. It's so pretty.
It is so
I bet she
sexy.
has some really cool automations. I'm such a like
I really do.
I am an operational
I
nerd,
have
so I'm like,
maxed
look at
out
that.
the number of automations. I've had to,
Mm,
like, combine automations.
yep, yep, yep. That's
So it's a lot more accessible for me now.
mhm.
Um, but before it was accessible for me, I made it accessible for me by hiring help before I was
Yeah,
ready
yeah,
because I was confident that the event would generate revenue, and I
sure,
was right, and so I was able to pay for that help.
good.
And I'm glad I did because I wouldn't have been able to make that revenue if I hadn't hired that help
Yeah,
the very first year of
that's
the summit.
that's the catch-22 there with that
It
outsourcing piece.
is. It is. Um, and let's see. I make an effort to make it accessible for the speakers by being extremely communicative. I
Yes,
include in every single email I send as many links as I possibly can
yes.
with all the information and make it as easily accessible and findable as possible.
Can
I also
confirm
provide
100%.
and
I've been
I
like,
provide
"Okay, this answers
multiple
this."
modes of communication. So
Yeah.
if someone has a question as a speaker, they can email me or they can Voxer me.
Yes.
Um,
Same thing with, like, the coffee
and
chat, like, you're like, if you don't wanna
yeah.
do
Oh, yeah. That's
a
another thing
chat
that I do.
yeah, you're like, you can Voxer me if like, you don't wanna get on a call, which is an
Yeah.
important thing, not everybody enjoys that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's actually a unique thing that I do as well is
Yeah.
at the beginning after someone agrees to be a speaker, I require them to do a coffee chat with me
Mhm.
because I've done summits in the past where or like one of the earlier summits, I think the second year of the summit, I did the whole summit and then I had all these new people be speakers and then at the end of it I was like, "Wait, I'm not friends with them. I've never
Yeah.
actually talked to them."
Yeah.
Except to exchange
Bum.
emails. Shit, I don't like that. And
Yeah.
so I started requiring these coffee chats.
Yeah.
But it also simultaneously is a way for me to support because I have a lot of speakers who have never done something like this before.
Yeah. For sure.
And so it's a way for me to offer strategic guidance. And I make myself a resource to them to like, if you want me to look over your outline before you record, I'm happy to do
Mm.
that. I actually like rewrote someone's outline entirely to make it more strategic for her
Yeah.
for this summit this year. Or,
Yeah.
like, if you want me to, like, give you tips on, like, a welcome sequence for all these new subscribers you're gonna get, stuff like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Um, so that's one of the things that I do to make things more accessible for speakers. And
Mhm.
then, probably more interesting to any listeners, things that I do to make the summit more accessible for attendees of various neurodivergencies,
Yes.
um, is I so when you sign up, like standard summit stuff, when you sign up to get your free ticket, you get a special offer to get the all access pass at a discounted rate. That's pretty standard. But
Yeah.
what is not standard about it when I do it is that it's a 12-hour timer
Mm.
instead of like a 15-minute or a 30-minute timer, which is kind of standard
Right.
in our industry.
Yeah.
I do a 12-hour timer because I don't feel comfortable asking someone to make a decision without
Mm-mm.
having a chance to sleep on it
Yeah. Absolutely.
or feeling pressured or because
Mm.
like anxiety is a co-occurring condition for a lot of neurodivergent people. It is a
Yeah.
neurodivergent condition itself. And so
Yeah.
is CPTSD. And
Yes.
so I want everyone to feel safe and grounded when they make any purchasing decision with me. And
Yes.
so I give them lots and lots of time. So
Yes.
that's one. But then also there are lots of other opportunities to continue getting the Busy Brains Pass at a discounted rate.
Yeah.
Um, Regardless. And then
Yeah.
even if you get it at full price, it's still a fucking steal.
Yeah, exactly, right. Yeah, and I think that's,
Um,
that's important, because I've had timers like that, and I'm just like,
mhm.
"I don't know, I need to look at my account, my brain is not here, I just wanted to sign up for the
Yeah,
thing."
yeah.
And a lot of times I think that's the real thing, right?
Mhm.
And I have often wished, like you're saying, there's a longer timer or, like, an email in between when the timer's going to expire
I
to
also do that.
remind me. Yeah, see? Because it's not always top of mind after you've signed up. Like, you're like, cool,
Yep,
cool, it's added
exactly.
to my calendar,
Or
done,
maybe you
right?
signed up when you were literally lying in bed and couldn't sleep at 4 a.m.
Right. On your
I've done
phone. And
that.
yes,
And I'm like,
exactly.
I
And
don't
you're
have my
like,
credit card with me. Shit.
yes, yes, I need to take mine off autofill. But yes, I think it's that's such an important thing I don't think people talk about. And it's still a
Hmm.
steal. Like, it's not like you're charging ridiculous amount
No,
once the
yeah.
price goes up, you know? And I think that's a part of the accessibility conversation that doesn't
Hmm.
get talked about a lot.
Other things I do to make the event accessible, I send lots of reminder emails.
Yeah.
Um, and I also, and this kind of when I originally brought up the whole accessibility thing, was you were talking about like summits being
Mhm.
like social and an experience.
Yes.
And some people don't want that. And
No, they
so
don't.
I make sure that it's incredibly valuable, regardless of whether you join the Facebook community.
Yes.
So there's a Facebook group, a pop up Facebook group that
Mhm.
I run every year with the summit, and that is only open during the registration period and during the actual summit. And it's
Yeah.
always popping, and it's an amazing community. And some people join the summit, like repeat attendees that I've had, say that they join the summit and like they don't watch any presentations. They just like they mostly join for the Facebook group because it's so
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And it really,
That's the
really
comfort.
is so
Yeah.
amazing. And I don't know how I caught this lightning in a bottle, but I did.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm an introvert. I would hate that personally.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
never join Facebook groups when I attend summits. I
Yeah.
am like, give me my presentations and let me go.
Yeah.
Let me go, please.
But
I'm a
yeah.
lurker.
Yeah.
And so I make sure that the content is accessible whether you're in the group or whether you're just
Yeah.
email or there's a free private podcast version of the
Yeah.
live summit where like the
Yeah.
presentations expire on the same timers and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you're a podcast person or if you're a busy like
Yeah.
mom who also runs a business, you can listen
Yeah.
while you're in the school pickup line or something.
Yeah.
Um so, or you like don't like if you get really fidgety sitting at a computer and watching a video, great. You can just listen to the podcast version.
Exactly.
Um,
I love
whereas a
that.
lot of some this is becoming more and more common since I started doing it,
Yes.
but
Yes. That wasn't in the beginning,
uh
but it is
it
becoming more.
used to be that that was only part of the paid all access pass.
Makes sense. It costs money. I don't know if everybody
It
knows
costs
that.
money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing
So
that I do, and again, this is something that is because it does cost me money to produce, it is only part of the Busy Brains Pass, which is the cute name for the All Access Pass, is I
yeah.
make fully written, like blog post style article versions of every presentation so that
Mm.
if you prefer reading as your preferred learning style,
Yeah.
the information is still accessible to you.
Yeah. No, and that's really great. You are
And that I
covering a
used
lot
to
of
do that
different.
manually. Like I had a team of VAs who would do it manually.
Yes.
And it would cost me thousands of dollars, and I still did it
Yes.
every year.
Yes.
Um, Thanks to AI, that's not the case. It's all,
Yeah.
don't worry, everyone's IP is protected. Everything
Yes.
is no LLMs are being trained on this content. Um, but yeah, so that's a huge thing that I do to make the content accessible.
It makes it.
Another thing that I do is making sure the videos have closed captions and playback speed control is
Yes.
huge.
So huge.
So
People don't
huge
think
because
about
some
it
people
like,
talk way too slow for my ADHD
and
brain.
some people want to slow it down, which
Some
I
people,
never
sometimes I do that too. If somebody's talking
yeah.
really fast, I'll take it down to 75.
Yeah. I just love being able to pause it and like maybe like
Yeah.
go back 30 seconds or something
Mm-hmm.
because I want to listen to it, but I might be like, "Oh, wait, I want to write that down." You know, I
Yeah.
don't like listen and I don't like listening to it slow. So it's kind of I have to manage my own how I consume
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that's really important. And so many people are like, "Well, I put closed captions on there." It's like I have to
That's not
listen
accept. That's
to
like the
no,
absolute bare
it's bare
minimum.
minimum. It's
That's
like
like putting a power button on an appliance. Like
yes.
that's the absolute bare minimum.
And to be fair, most places you like host these things, you don't have to do anything to do that. Like,
Yeah.
you know
Especially
what
these
I'm
days.
saying? No, I was
Yeah.
like, so if you don't have it, that's to me a huge flag. I'm like, it
Yeah.
does not take that much these days to put
It
on
really
closed
does not.
captioning.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, YouTube makes it like easy and automatic to
So
create
easy.
translated captions these days. Like it is
Yes.
really
It's
not
hard
even
not to.
effortful anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I find people who haven't, I'm like, you went to an
What
effort
is wrong
not
with you?
to.
You have
Yeah. I was
made a
like,
conscious decision to do
yes.
this.
I was like, I cannot consume your content. Do you
How
understand
dare
that?
you?
Yeah. The most mad I get is when it's a program I purchased 'Cause I'm like,
Yeah.
I spent money. I want that money to go so I can learn from this.
Yeah.
And so I think what you're talking about with, like, the podcast and the scripts, which I think makes sense that even now with tools you have, is still a paid feature because that takes time. And
I
you have
do make
to
the transcripts themselves available for free. Although I have
yeah.
to do some stuff because last year I had a problem with people copy pasting the transcripts into ChatGPT, which violates the IP rights of the
Yes.
speakers. So I
Yeah.
have to, it's really frustrating when I'm like, I feel like I have to take an accessibility feature away because
Yeah.
people don't know how to act.
Well, and
I'm
yes.
trying to find a way around it where I can still I'm hoping I'm able to figure out some fancy code that I can make it so you can't even, like, highlight the text in order to be able to
There
copy it.
has to be
That's
some
my
way to do
hope.
that.
There's gonna
Yeah.
be a way around it, I'll figure it out. I'm not gonna take the
Yeah.
accessibility feature away because that would be wild, but
Yes.
I
You
also
just
have a
gotta hope.
responsibility to protect my speaker's IP.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a lot of really great features. Are there any other ones you think you
Yeah.
haven't hit?
There are probably more that I am not thinking of.
Those are the major ones, and when you think of a
Those are the
summit,
major ones. Yeah.
like the presentations, how you consume them. Do you have to actually
Mhm.
join the Facebook group to get like, I agree. I sometimes I want the choice. I'll join the
Mhm.
Facebook group and then never go to it.
Mhm.
Um, that's a thing.
Yeah.
And but I like when I don't have to do that to get the content. Like, it's not, like, behind that wall. So,
Yeah,
I think that's an
exactly. Even
important
the
thing.
live events, like, some people just do their live events as, like, Facebook Lives, but I do them as
Mhm.
Crowdcast. I use
Yeah.
Crowdcast for the live events. Then people in
Yeah.
the email list can also join,
Yeah.
who aren't in the Facebook group.
Yeah, and I think that's fair because really an intention a lot of times behind a Facebook group is the community, is the conversation,
Mhm,
and giving people a chance to opt out of that because they don't that's not their jam for whatever reason. It might be
mhm.
draining for them. Um, but they still are gonna get so much the benefit is a really needed accessibility feature where and I think some people are starting to recognize that, but I still see a lot of reliance on the Facebook groups. I was like, I wonder if
Yeah.
people just don't realize how many people left Facebook, like consciously made the decision over the last couple years
Oh, no,
to
we
not.
know.
Yeah, it's like I'm
I
like,
would love to get the group away from Facebook, but it
mm,
just doesn't work. I've seen people try and people don't follow.
no, and that's the really interesting catch 22 there
Yeah,
is
it is.
not everybody wants to be a part of a Facebook group and sometimes we can all rail against Facebook groups, but they
Mhm.
continue to be the
The only
easiest
effective.
way. Yeah,
Yeah,
on both sides of the,
yeah,
consuming. Um, can I segue? We might not include this, but it's
yeah.
been a very hot topic. Every time I say it, it's
Hot
been.
topic.
I got my prom dress there, so I'm just like, I love
Take
it.
me back to the 2000s.
Yes, and Emily the Strange. But AI
Yeah.
and yeah, it's been a very top of mind for me for many
Mhm,
reasons. And
mhm.
I know based on things I've seen around and studies that have been done about neurodivergence in the workplace and all of that, um, AI is a really, it isn't a black and white, I don't feel like,
No, it's
topic.
super not.
And yet I I have viewed and still view since it's kind of blown up, it's an accessibility tool in my opinion for
100%.
a lot of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's do you ever struggle with the nuance of the bigger implications and stuff? And how do
Oh,
you, like,
yeah.
look
I am late to the AI game for sure. I've been
Sure,
enthusiastic since I've adopted it,
sure.
but I'm late to the AI game primarily for reasons of ethical quandary, we'll say.
Yeah. Social
Where
justice.
I Yeah, exactly. And I stayed away from AI because, well, also because it like really sucked at first.
Mm, mm,
It really did not
fair.
do what it people were promising.
No, no.
Um, I am not an early adopter
Oh, to be fair.
of anything. I wait until the iPhone gets discounted. I don't buy the
And
newest model, I buy the last model.
I think that's fair. Some people really love being early adopters to anything,
Yeah,
and I think there's also benefits to not being an early adopter
100%.
because some of the kinks have gotten worked out.
Exactly. So yeah, I've only jumped on the AI train since it's actually gotten good at its job.
Mhm.
Um, and but, like, I stayed away from it because it was bad at it, but also primarily for the ethical reasons because of
Mm,
the environmental impact and
mhm.
also the IP theft from, like,
Yeah.
countless authors and content creators
Yes.
and artists, and
Mhm.
there are I have a very, very nuanced take on AI. I think it
Yeah.
can be used responsibly. I
Yes.
think you can't put the mattress back in the vacuum sealed
No.
package.
You
The
cannot.
cat's out of the box, out of the
Yeah.
bag, like, it's not
Yeah.
gonna go back in the bag,
Yeah, it's not going back
and
in the kennel, it is free.
it's not going back in the
Yeah,
kennel,
no, yeah.
and, like, so this is just part of reality now, and we
Yeah.
have to I look forward to its very intense regulation.
Yes.
Um, that's
That's what's
kind of my
missing for
take
me.
on that stuff.
Yeah.
It's not gonna go back in the bag, it just
No.
needs to be deeply, deeply regulated.
Yeah.
And hopefully legal systems, probably in the EU first, will catch up to it. Um,
100% it will be the EU first because
it'll
they did the
100% be Germany
GDPR
first.
first. Yeah, like 100%.
Yeah.
America will be the last place.
Absolute last.
Like, we have some serious damage that we're gonna be undoing for decades. And so
If
I'm just
not
like,
centuries.
yeah, like, that seems like it's gonna be low on the totem pole, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's also really it moves so fast. I do see some people obviously in this country
Yeah.
being like, "We have to,"
Yeah.
and, like, Colorado just passed a year, moratorium on building any new data centers while they look into
Love that.
how to control the impact.
Love
I
that.
mean, what is Colorado known for if not its nature, you know? And
Yeah.
so, like, how could they not?
Yeah.
Um, but I know I got a lot of pushback because Denver in the last couple of years has become a very big tech center. A lot of, like,
Yeah.
Silicon Valley
Yeah.
people came there, you know? So I'm sure that was not an easy thing to pass.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I appreciate that because I just think it's important for a lot of I think it's important for neurodivergent entrepreneurs to talk about this
Mhm.
because there are, as with anything new technology, things that can amplify things in your business, you are going to have the shady McShadesters who are going to
Mhm.
use it in a not great way. Like
And
you,
they're gonna
it's
get
just
rich off of your ideas.
yes, and that's one of those things you can't control and can be
Yeah.
very infuriating. You can get infuriated on other people's behalf, and I think it's can be difficult to navigate. I completely get why certain artists and a lot of the artist community are like, absolutely not. Like the fact
Mhm.
that like it for them and their livelihood and their creative expression, it is a little bit black and white. And I understand that.
Yeah.
And I have seen people use it very unethically.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they don't realize it, which I don't understand because they're typically smart people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't get it. But it's like when money and this prospect of like this success comes in, I it
Yeah.
you do start to see some people's true colors. Like
Yeah.
what is gonna be what they actually value.
Yeah.
Um
Or what
eh,
hill will they die on once if you try to
yes.
explain something, are they willing to listen?
Yeah. And or have
Yeah.
they completely drunk the Kool-Aid and nothing you say is gonna get
Yeah.
in, you
Yeah.
know? And so I just appreciate having honest conversations. I have many friends who are in the online space who are neurodivergent, and it
Mhm.
has been a topic of conversation in it levels certain playing fields, I feel, for us
Yes.
neurodivergence as far as like content and all of that. However, you have to make your own line a little bit there.
Yeah.
It's I am like we've talked about verbal processor.
Mhm.
I'm so happy I took the leap and started a podcast. Still not like sure exactly where it's going, but I love it. But I struggle with the getting the words in a content piece, even sometimes email.
Mhm.
And so I appreciate when I follow someone who just released an email app that she designed based on her stuff that you can just like talk into. Like,
Nice. Yeah.
and it like will interact and base it on your answers because I want it to be what I say. Like I want it to
Yeah.
be
You want it to be
my
you.
Yes, I don't want
But
it to
there are
be
things that your brain is just not naturally good at doing that
no.
are parts of the puzzle piece of and where the end design of the puzzle piece is an email that supports
Yes,
your business and sells your
yes,
offers. And you have ideas that could make great emails, but there are parts of the puzzle that get you to that final
yeah.
destination that your brain isn't good at. And that's where AI can really thrive. I will
Or
tell
it's
you right now,
mm,
I would have made absolutely no money this year if I hadn't been able to rely on Claude to help me write emails.
absolutely.
Because I moved to Spain late last
Mhm.
year, and because political refugee, and
Yes, so valid.
uh and I had a huge mental health dip in January and for several months. I always have a mental health dip in January. That's just part of my like body's cyclical process.
Yeah.
But combined with the timing of our move,
Oof.
it was really severe. I didn't feel like a human again until April. But I'm
Oof.
the breadwinner for our family.
Yeah, so you didn't have the option to
Exactly.
completely slow
And
down.
yeah, and so I had to jump right back in. I had taken some time off to prep for the move,
Mhm.
but didn't have, like, time off budgeted for after we arrived, and
Yeah.
I had to jump right into launch mode, and I have
Mhm.
not been able to stop,
Yeah.
and I was deeply depressed and did not
Okay.
and I was honest with my audience about that, I wasn't
Sure.
faking anything,
No.
but I would not have been able to put together cohesive, effective marketing materials that would
Yeah.
sell my programs without
Yeah.
Claude's help. And
Yeah.
it was very strictly trained on my,
Yeah.
like, formats and my writing
Yeah.
style, and I worked with it a lot, and no
Mhm.
email is ever produced with and this is where I think a lot of I think a lot of neurodivergent people struggle to figure out how to use Claude in an effective way to create their content because of some literal thinking.
Yeah.
And we also have been shat on by society and told that we're not good enough. And
Yeah.
so when a robot says, "This is what is the right thing," you're like, "I mean, I guess okay, sure. It doesn't
Yeah.
really sound like me, but if you say so." But
Yeah.
I interact with AI more as a like a contractor that I've hired that is still
Yeah.
like learning how to do things in my business.
Yeah. So it's
I
not like you're
see it
gonna
as an
go from,
employee
like
that I'm training.
yeah. And I think that's an important nuance and perspective because, you know, there are gonna be the people like we talked about, shady McShadesters, who are just like, "Write me an ebook," and then they just go publish it, right?
And then they just publish it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's crap, and it but they're gonna make money, and that's just the reality. But
Yeah.
I think there is a point you can be very intentional with it, like you're saying, to train it, treat it like it's not thinking for you. It's
Mhm.
helping you get your ideas out when
Mhm.
because it's not I don't think it's not necessarily like I can't write emails, right? Like I wrote one last week about this very subject and I wrote it from start to finish, but I figured out it's easier for me to write pen and paper and then I type it up. Like trying
I
to
love that.
yeah, like typing it out I used to be able to, and then I unmasked, and I found it so difficult to look at a document and start
Mhm.
something,
Mhm.
but I can
Autistic
still do it
regression
with
is
it.
real.
It is real. And so for a long time, I thought it meant I couldn't write,
Yeah.
but I was finding, oh, I just need the pen and paper. I need I need the feeling of it. So my brain
Mhm.
is really connected to it, not as,
Yeah.
um, but I think what's important too is it's not just maybe it's not your strength, it's also seasons like you're talking about
Yeah.
where you may be
Exactly.
struggling or
Or I
if
have
you
a lot
have a
more brain fog. Sometimes I'll get
yeah.
like 90% of an email down and I'm like, I cannot figure out how to wrap this up. Please, Claude, help me put a
Yes.
bow on this email so I can just send it.
Yes. Yes. And that's
Mhm.
real and
And
you
sometimes
could
what he gives me is shit, but it unblocks enough that I'm able to be like, no, 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 that's not quite right, but let me just fix it for you.
yes. Sometimes just having this thing to start from can help
Yeah,
when you're in that kind of a
exactly.
space. Um, no, I wanted to talk about it. It may not go on the podcast, but if you're cool with it, I
Yeah.
might include it with another one I'm releasing that's mine about
Yeah.
because to me it a lot of the AI stuff, yes, there's the ethical implications and all of that, but it's also I see some business owners very much like we saw years past, not even that long ago, but use Facebook ads to sell a $3,000 program and you can make millions of dollars because I did it.
Mhm.
And I would work with clients. I was like, that's not how that works. Like,
Yeah.
if you haven't sold it organically, and you don't have the
Yeah.
back end set up to handle influx.
And it's not a good program.
Yeah. Which is why you need to sell it organically.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but it's the same kind of rhetoric, like create a $27 course and you'll make six figures. To me, there's some of that kind of coming in a little bit
Yeah.
with, not that low ticket courses can't be a benefit, but I think, how they're sold sometimes that during that period, like that's all you need to do. And it's like, well, there's some
Mhm.
nuance to that. There's
Yeah, like
some,
we were saying earlier,
yeah, yeah.
you can be successful, like
In
a
whatever.
successful business can look like anything. That's not the only
Absolutely.
way to be successful
No,
right now.
no. And I just think, like we're talking about, there's shady mixed shadesters. And
Mhm.
in my opinion, if you use something like AI to start to run your entire business, but before you yourself have identified some of your business foundations,
Mhm.
you're gonna get, instead of more good stuff, you're gonna get more bad stuff, like broken
100%.
systems, mediocrity, whatever like that.
I mean, it's just
Um,
like if you hired someone to do something for you, but you still didn't
yeah,
know what to tell them or what to give them. It's exactly the
yes.
same.
If you
You're
if you
still
don't know
gonna
what the
get
output
stuff
should
that's
look
not
like,
good for you.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or
If
if
you
you
don't know
don't
what
know
it
what your
what it should
writing
look like,
style is, you don't have
yes.
anything to train the robot on.
If you don't know how an SOP could be used,
Mhm.
and then you just have your employees use it, how do they know if you don't know
Mhm.
what is ineffective? You know? And so
Mhm.
I think then my neurodivergent brain sees all the other stuff and I'm like, should I feel guilty when I use it? Or is it
Mm.
matter?
Let me tell you what helped me through
Yeah.
the ethical quandary. My
Okay.
partner
Mhm.
is a environmental scientist with a
Oh,
focus
yeah.
and specialization in sustainability and energy.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And
Smart.
he's real smart. He's a smart
Yeah.
cookie.
I'm like, oh, that's smart.
And I love him so much. But
Yes.
he has this philosophy about recycling.
Uh-huh.
He's not like gung ho about recycling. And the
Yeah.
reason is individuals doing recycling is a drop in the fucking bucket
If
compared to
corporations don't.
corporations
Yes.
doing recycling.
Yes.
And
When
so
I
all
learned
of
that, I
us
was like,
spending all of our energy policing each other to
"No.
recycle is not
Mhm.
actually fixing the environment. It's
No.
not doing fucking all.
No.
What we should be doing, instead of spending all of our energy trying to get to a zero waste lifestyle on YouTube
Yeah."
or policing each other about recycling pizza boxes, we
Or
should
using it as a
be
marketing ploy.
calling our senators and like
Yes.
calling for legislation of corporations and all of this
Yes.
stuff and doing things that actually make a fucking difference
Yes.
for sustainability and recycling. It's the same thing for AI. What you
Yes.
and I are using AI for doesn't
It's
fucking
not.
matter. It's not
No.
doing fuck all.
Unless we use it in a very unethical way to copy someone's IP. That is the line.
Well, yeah, that's
But
bad.
yes. But,
That's
like,
just
for the
bad, but
environment,
that's not
yeah.
bad for the environment. I guess
No,
I'm
like,
speaking specifically about the
yeah.
environment. Like for
Yeah.
me, that was the big thing.
Sure.
Um,
To me,
yeah,
it's all the
that
same
was the
thing, like,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
To me,
yeah, exactly.
if I I think personally, individually, it's about how you use it. It's, right and
Yeah,
wrong,
exactly.
people. Like, don't steal somebody's work, don't steal somebody's likeness. Like, I feel like that
Yeah,
is human decency 101. I don't know if it is, but I feel like it is.
yeah, but
And
I feel like it is.
yeah, so to me, that's kind of on that level. But when I learned what you're talking about, that because I used to feel crappy about not recycling because my friend would do
Yeah,
composting and stuff. But I was like, and then I started to learn about it. I was like, the impact, the only thing that's going to make the big impact that we need is if
mhm,
there is big change in corporation waste.
yeah,
And like, because yes, we contribute on an individual level. Yes, your vote matter, your voice matters, all of that.
yeah.
And when we're talking
And
about a
also,
systemic
there's
change,
really big problems, and
yeah,
let's focus on the things that are
yes,
actually needle moving, which would be
yes,
corporations, before we
yes,
start policing each other for recycling pizza
exactly.
boxes.
Ex- Thank you. But yes, I feel the same way. I think it's very similar to the AI thing. Like, if
Yeah.
I change how I do it because I feel guilty, there's someone who's making a shit ton of money off it and is an
You're gonna
unethical
get left
piece of
behind.
crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like, why am I going to lose out on income I could make because it helps me complete something? you
and
know?
impact that you have.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's the other
exactly.
piece is so many of us are running businesses that have huge social impact
Mhm.
beyond gaining income, which
Yes.
gives us power, which gives us equips us to like make change in the
Yeah.
world. But also the work you're doing to make income might be making a social impact.
Yeah.
And so it's important that you get that work out there. And if
Yeah.
AI can help you do that, listen, you using Claude to write an email or like rewrite your summit registration page, which I was doing earlier today,
Yeah.
it's not killing the environment. It's
No.
not. It's not.
No.
The Mark
And
Zuckerbergs of the world are to
yes.
blame and to be
I mean,
feeling
can we name
guilty.
the real shithead who's the one?
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
I wanna say it was in Britain because they love this word, and I love this word. But it was like, if you're a trillionaire in a world where children are starving, you're a cunt. It's not a brag.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. And it was like a
Not
picture of that
Conti the
asshole.
way the Gen Z uses it, where it's a
No,
good thing.
no. To me, swear words, they have that beautiful thing
Oh,
where
yeah.
they can be used like, to me, fuck is like one of the best words in the
Oh, I
English
agree.
language,
100%.
and it can be like, fuck, like
Yeah.
bad,
Yeah.
and fuck yeah. Like, it's so to
Yeah.
me, it's the same
Exactly.
thing with cunt. The only thing is obviously that has, like, bitch, that has the, feminism, like,
Yeah. There
thing,
are feminist
whatever.
implications
Yeah.
there or
Yeah, yeah.
anti-feminist,
Like,
depending on how you're using it. Yeah.
using things as
Yeah.
slurs that are whatever. Like, yes. And
Yes.
we can also take it back and be like,
Yeah.
I can use cunt as an insult because, to be fair, I don't think having balls is the like makes you better than me. I think having a cunt makes me better than you.
Yeah.
So, sometimes like I think it's also how you switch things up, and
100%.
that's
100%.
not actually how I feel. But it's like I don't have to use it in a way that's negative. I can be like, no, instead of using dickhead, I'm gonna use cunt.
Love it.
You
Yeah,
know. So
they do like that word over there. Um,
love it so much.
what was I thinking? I had a
I
thought
was
and
meant to be
it
born
was
a black.
gone.
But yeah, no, I just the AI
Yeah.
conversation super important.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Another thing is that like everyone in terms of content creation and using AI to support your business as an individual, you also have to decide like where your lines are, right?
Yes.
I,
Yes.
for one, will not use AI for image creation. I
Yeah.
experimented with it a little bit a while ago and decided after seeing the impact that it has on artists and how it's like
Yeah.
literally stealing
Yes.
from artists,
Yeah.
I just am
No.
not going to go there. I'm also
No.
not a fan of using AI for voice generation. I understand
Mm,
that some people love it, but like my brother in law has lost like 50% of an income because he's an actor and he's not getting commercial work anymore.
yeah. And that is the thing, and I was just it's such a new to me, it's not always this is not a black and white issue. It is a nuanced
Yeah, it's
issue,
not.
and I don't know if it's the combo plate in my brain, but I can see black and white issue, but to me there is nuance in everything, and when we leave out the
Yes.
nuance is when we get into this very divided place because
100%.
there's very rarely, and they're very clear to me, bad, good, you know?
Mhm.
Like, there's
Yeah.
just some very obvious ones there.
That's another
But
combo meal struggle, I think, is
yes,
that we love to engage with the nuance, but we can also see the black and white. And I think
yes,
the black and white thing for us is less of like seeing things. I think sometimes there is seeing things in black and white, but in terms of, I think there is a certain like, I mean, I feel like this is an anthropological thing, regardless of neurodivergence, of like not wanting to be cast out
yes, yes,
and feeling this pressure of like, I want to believe the right things so that
yes.
people like me. And
But
then we, as black and white thinkers, I think what we end up doing then instead of the like not combo meal black and white thinking where it's like this is black and this is white, it's like, okay, I see what people are believing and I don't see where the line is, so I'm just going to take it
yes,
as far as possible.
yes, yes.
I'm
And I
kind
think
of like thinking through this out loud while it's occurring
no,
to me. I could disavow it later, but
I that's everyone's prerogative. To me, I think that's very it's like we were talking about earlier, to really wrap up this whole conversation, is that we're always trying to figure out what is right. We're not
Yeah.
reading social cues because we don't understand them.
Yeah.
We are doing it because at least for me, I speak for me. I have, since the day I was born, have been like, why am I feel different. Like I feel like a
Yeah.
different species sometimes. And that's how I felt as a kid. I couldn't put words to it.
Yeah.
And so I think we're trying to navigate that. And
Yeah.
our brains also see it in, very black and white. And so sometimes I think we can end up identifying with an extreme
Mhm.
because we don't see like the middle ground sometimes.
Mhm.
At least that's kind of what I'm taking from what you're kind of working through
Mhm.
there
Yeah.
is we're I think that's part of the diagnostic criteria that I always struggle with because it's like it's not that we don't have empathy, it's that we have hyper empathy and we can understand a lot
Mhm.
of every single angle. And when you're trying to ask a child in one of your experiments, what would Barbie do? And I'm referencing something very specific, and she doesn't respond in a certain way, and you mark her as autistic and can't understand emotion, what you don't understand is
Mm.
most likely her brain is like, what are they looking for? I mean, I could answer it this way, I could answer it this way, and but what if
Mhm.
that's not the right answer? And what if they get mad at me? And you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
the that's the piece I don't think people always understand with our brains
Mhm.
is it's not always that we don't get it, it's that we get too much.
Mhm.
You know?
Mhm. Or
So
like I can't answer questions on simple questionnaires because I'm like, okay, but like sometimes, but like what's the
yes,
context for what you're
yes,
asking?
yes,
I always need more context.
yes. Context is just like consent
Key.
is sexy, context
Context is so sexy.
is so
It's
sexy.
contexty.
It's ooh, I love that. So, I appreciate you've been so generous. This has been a
Yeah.
wonderful first, like, guest interview. So obviously we want everybody to come to the summit, which
Yes,
tell everybody when
absolutely.
it goes live.
Yeah, so this year's summit is going to be July 27th through 30th. You'll be able to get your ticket as early as July 13th. And I'm going to give Emily a special link that is her affiliate link that will be in the show notes.
Yes.
And come
I'm
see
also a
Emily
Claire
speak.
I'm also a Claire affiliate, so I am gonna put the link to the courses that we
Oh,
specifically
yeah,
mentioned
check
that
the
are
rest of all the
yours.
rest that we talked
Yes,
about.
yes.
Absolutely.
Because to me, it's like such a no-brainer. So yes. Thank you so much, Claire,
Yeah, thank you.
and
Hey, congrats on finishing your first guest interview.
thank you.